And last, but definitely not least, we have Dark. What do you have for us?
Oh boy, I have a series it's new. You wouldn't know it, but boy is it new airing this season.
Uh-huh.
Um I am covering what is this? Rekishi ni Nokoru Akujo ni Naruzo,
Yes.
which I'll become a villainess who goes down in history.
Yes.
Um yeah, so this is a villainous reincarnation series. Just for
Surprise.
background info, this is being done by, I believe, yeah,
Maho
Maho
Films?
Film. Um, and yeah, this is a 12 episode or 13 episode. Pretty normal in that regard. Um, but as far as synopsis goes, Alicia is the eldest daughter. Wait, what? Yeah, she's the eldest daughter of the Noble Williams family. I'm pretty sure she's also the only daughter, which is weird.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
why
yeah.
they would write it like this because she has two older brothers. So like that's
You
kind of a really
you
stupid
have
fucking
as
way to
many
write this.
questions for me. You have
Um
as many questions as I do when
anyway, yeah. So
reading these.
so, it's the typical setup. She's very good at with dark magic, like her bloodline. She has jet black hair,
Yeah. She's
golden
supposed to be an
eyes.
evil, like villainous,
Yeah,
essentially
so
set
she
up.
is, and as far as what happens is, she wakes up she's in bed one day as like a kid, and she regains all of her memories from her prior life, which
Uh-huh.
was someone who's addicted to this Atome game that she's currently in. Um, and again, you might be saying to yourself, "Gee, haven't I seen this before?" You'd be correct because the premise is she wants to become the best villainess she can be, and to avoid being exiled, as that is like her character's end, which, yeah, is literally just exactly something we have seen before. I forget what series was the one specifically where it was someone who was avoiding exile, but obviously, there is the one of the earliest ones, which was the death flag, all roads lead to doom or whatever. Um, and unfortunately, this series does really nothing, at least in the first episode, to break away from any of these. It's really only unique factor, which is not unique at all, is that the main character, Alicia, wants to be a villainess. She does not want to be like a goody two shoes. Now, that would be really interesting. Well, not really interesting, but that would be more interesting if it didn't do the shtick where she's like, I'm gonna be evil, and here's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be evil by making these plans and suggest this, and what she winds up suggesting is like not evil whatsoever. Um, but she like perceives it as such. It is literally the same exact premise. If someone had seen, was it Tear Moon Kingdom from a couple seasons ago?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Except
yeah, yeah.
done far far worse. Um,
Sure, I
that
like how you were. I thought you were gonna. I think some people expected far better, but
no,
you
no,
straight
absolutely,
gonna yeah.
absolutely not. Like, not even remotely close.
Mhm.
Especially like even for a first episode, like, yeah, not a good first showing in that regard.
Did the author for the original series write anything else? Have
Of
they
this
written?
series, that's a good question. This is a light novel adaptation, by the way. So
Yeah,
let
yeah,
me
yeah, yeah,
see.
yeah.
Let me see if I'll has this even in so let's see, as far as story goes, looks like no. Which,
Okay,
like,
okay,
I
okay,
mean, listed
okay.
on Mall at least, so.
Mm-hmm.
But so bad sign. Um, because yeah, unfortunately, the series is doing literally nothing original. Outside of that, like,
Uh-huh.
even down to, yeah, like down to the characters.
Yeah, this is their
Obviously, it's
first
all
series.
of the
This is their first
same.
series.
It's all of the same Atome game characters you would expect, even down to
Uh-huh.
the like Shota character being voiced by Why can't I think of it? Literally, like flip a coin. Oh yeah, yeah. Flip a coin. You know what? Take a guess. Take a guess what the Shota like blonde-haired like femboy character is being voiced by. It's a coin toss, really, as to who it could be.
Ayumu? Ayumu
Yes,
Urase?
yes. It's
Yashi,
Murasei Yumu.
let's fucking
The alternative could have been fucking what's his name? Also has been getting like so many of those roles now. He was uh in the JoJo Part Forecast, probably like a really good pull for him. What is his fucking name? I don't know. Either way, I digress. Oh, Yuki Kaji, right? Like I feel like he's also been getting like some of those roles recently. But
Mhm.
yeah, so like this is really not doing anything remotely out of the realm of everything we've seen before, right? Like
Do you
Ayumu
think there
is playing this
a
character in every single
potential
fucking
path
one.
do you think is there a potential path towards redemption or what's going on here?
So the only thing that I could think of that is the path towards redemption is that, well, two things. One, the main character gets an eye patch later on. So like, that's
Boy.
cool. Um but some of
That is pretty
the
cool.
some of the some of the art I had been seeing of like later chapters and stuff seemed to be way deeper romance, or not deeper romance, but like way more like emphasizing the romance between Villainess and what is the Otome game's like male character, which is Duke. Like that guy we discussed in the previews, Duke Seeker. Like
Mhm,
there's a lot of like I don't know, what would you call it? Like not really like saucy art of them together as like the covers, but I don't know, more of her seeming like and like her seeming like she's manipulating him in a way, or
mhm,
not manipulating him, but sort of like has a bit of a role reversal where she's going to be the one that's like kind of taking the lead on their relationship and also like politically essentially, instead of
mhm.
in the Otome game, like it would probably be reversed for the um like main character. But yeah, so like that could go somewhere interesting if it becomes a much bigger focus on just just their relationship and really drops what would you call it? The more stereotypical, or like not even like will they won't they, but like going through consistently all of the guys um in the
Oh,
Otome
yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah,
Like
and
if they wind up
it's kind of
dropping that
yeah,
pretty
mhm,
fast, I think
mhm.
that could make this a little bit more of a fun focus of just like random, happenings and political nonsense, but also with like a romance aspect to it.
Yeah,
But yeah, like
the
the
issue
problem is the issue
you
is
want
that
you
in
wanted to
episode 1, they've already
yeah.
like she's not even grown up at all, right? Like she's still a kid in episode 1.
Uh-huh,
Um they gave a breakdown of like all like strengths and magic as well, where like the main guy is good with water, the like Chota, voiced by Ayumu, is good with light magic, so on and so
uh-huh.
forth. So like I think the big problem is like, you're gonna get the fucking, obviously like we still have to get through like another like growing up thing. Then we're gonna have to get through some of the school, like early school stuff with magic and shit, I'm sure. And establishing like how strong she is. Um I'm sure we're gonna have to get through like the male characters butting heads as well. So it's like I really, unfortunately, like I don't know, as far as the anime goes, like unless this shit is like extremely truncated, um, even like as a series where they just don't spend much time on those things in the original light novel as well. Um, I don't really see this getting very far. So that's
Mhm.
kind of like the unfortunate bit where it's like I feel like the more interesting parts of a series like this is going to be in the later, the further you get in. So to not have that is kind of damning, I think.
Yeah.
But bit of a
My
shame,
question is
really.
also is that, as you said, I agree with you that it's probably best for them to go in a kind of statecraft-ish direction, right? It's like I'm gonna survive with my powers. I'm gonna get out of here, stuff like that. Because it's
I
like the
mean,
whole
not
idea
just
is I'm
sacred,
gonna.
but like obviously like the politics of it all, and like and just her
Well, it
running
needs to have
essentially
a
the
backbone.
country.
That's the thing. It's like if they're not gonna go, if she's not gonna go around macking on all the boys, she ultimately needs to, not she, but the story ultimately needs to have some backbone to which to return to, right? Um, and that backbone is essentially going to be the easiest one will be statecraft, right? Well, unless you
Yeah,
think there might be other better
it'd probably
avenues,
be
but
like
it's like
magic and monsters and stuff.
magic and so okay, okay, that could be another thing, yeah.
Yeah, I would
But it's
assume.
like
I
the
would
idea is
assume
like the
like
whole
her
villainous
dark
thing,
magic's gonna shine
right?
through.
Oh,
But
I
yeah,
guess, yeah. You maybe it could be something like the black magic healer or whatever that Ultimate series was, right? You
yeah.
know the one I'm
See,
talking about, yeah.
that is also another thing that I was gonna bring up, where it's like, unfortunately, it's
Hmm.
like I don't foresee like this doing even the magic stuff better from that series, because I feel like that
Yeah,
series
yeah, yeah, yeah.
kind of really hit the ground running. The or rather, we may be talking about two different ones, but are you thinking of the level 99 like secret boss one from a couple seasons ago? Because she uses like
Uh,
black magic to heal people in that. And
yeah, I know what you're
the
talking about,
gimmick is
yeah.
that it's really strong healing. It's just it looks visually disgusting when you have it done to you.
Uh,
Um, this is more like, Wolverine regeneration rather than, pretty lights going off and you glowing and getting healed. Um, but yeah, so like there's even like a series like that where it's as far as like what's been set up, like how this first episode went, to me it just doesn't seem like it really will go places that are more interesting than those series. So it's like kind of like all angles it's from here. It's just not as just really has not been as interesting to me. Like it
is
just
it
hasn't.
mainly is it the lack of interest mainly due to the whole kind of spokes on a wheel, oh, I'm just gonna go around to all the boys in the yard kind of business, or like what is driving the lack of interest, as funny as
Yeah,
the question might be?
it's a lot of like, since it is a lot of the same, a lot of, oh yeah, this is some shit we've seen before. Type stuff like that kind of just wears on it, I feel. Where
Uh-huh.
just the way it introduced everything seemed a very like painting by numbers type deal, right? Like, oh well, we got to get
Mm.
out of the way, like we got to introduce the boys and we got to introduce the magic,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
got to introduce like how this character came to be, and then
Mm.
just not
And it also
having
since the
any.
focus is kind of on the boys right now too, so it's like,
Well,
yeah.
the focus right now is still on like the main girl. It's just a matter of like it's not really doing any favors by being so like so it's not doing itself any favors by introducing them in this way, in like such an uninteresting way, like just literally like basically having them
Uh-huh.
lined up, like they're literally in a room together when
Mhm.
they're introduced, and it's like, really, like you had no other organic way to do this, like you couldn't,
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah,
damn,
yeah.
really had nothing else. You're just like, yeah, just put them in a fucking room, I guess. Like, okay, sure. So like that to me kind of does not bode well. Um, but yeah, I think the biggest issue, like that, the biggest issue this series does also have, or one of the major issues it has, is also that it's just like visually not great,
Impressive.
unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
Its audio visuals are not great.
Mhm.
Audio wise, like it's not terrible. but like visually, it is like just kind of like shockingly just unimpressive, right? Like everything is pretty flat. The colors are pretty washed out. The like actual animations are not like nothing really impressive happens. Um,
Hmm.
you could say, oh, they're saving it for like the fucking I don't know, later on during like a fight or something, but I kind of really doubt that. So yeah, just all around not a very impressive showing. They're really it really is kind of the
Yeah.
most like what
Stereotypical.
would you call it? Yeah, like every single piece of this, I'm like, damn, we've seen this before and we've seen it better and we've also seen it like
Yeah,
recently.
yeah, yeah. That's the problem. We've always it would be one thing if they improve upon the formula while having a very kind of standard like formula, but it's entirely another thing to have it be worse while it's still being all the samey.
Yeah, because it's like, man, we really like we've really just seen this exact premise.
Yeah.
Um and yeah, I don't know. I just wish we wouldn't keep getting these villainous series that really are for nothing. Because that's the thing, right? Like I was really like, yeah, the villainous series from the villainous series that we were talking about, like the 99 level 99 boss one was already like kind of stretching it, right? Like kind of really
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
really just like pushing it of like, damn, we're really running out of stuff to do here.
Mhm.
And this is kind of like the most bare bones I think we've gotten yet, right? Because it doesn't
Mhm.
do, like I said, like it doesn't do the Tier Moon Kingdom stuff nearly. It. I mean, like I can't say it doesn't do the magic stuff as well because I haven't seen it yet, but just the kind of blasé nature they introduce it in, I don't think is gonna be as great either. I can't imagine the heroine here or the villainess here is gonna be like as interesting as or just as fun as the one from Death Flag. So like yeah, I don't know. There's just like it's kind of depressing, really.
Mhm. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I mean, it's kind of it's a kind of curling of the monkey's paw. It's the people were like, "Oh, these fucking harems with the beta male characters and just him just going around and just macking on these stupid girls all the time and like these harem stuff all the time. Like, can we get something else?" And then, we got
Yeah,
the
now we get
ultimate
a
stuff,
villainous
and then it kind
series
of yeah,
every
and then
single
we just got the
series.
girl that's macking all the boys instead. Yeah, exactly. So, a very unfortunate sequence of events, but what rating would you give it? What Mal rating? Or initial rating, I guess, sorry.
um, maybe a like a 4.
4? Okay. That's
Yeah,
still better than I expected, to be
maybe
honest,
a
though.
4. I mean, maybe a 3. Honestly, it might be a 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just the problem is that there is like obviously potential depending on how they handle the villains and like Duke and Duke's relationship.
Mhm.
If that becomes more of a staple, that could wind up being its own. How it like kind of makes its own way. Uh, but kind of also depends on how long it takes to get there. So
Mhm.
bit of a shame.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess this is something I'll definitely keep up with just to see like
Yeah, how it
does it
develops.
run the same? Yeah, does it run the same path or does it actually just accelerate and kind of pass over a lot of that stuff to get to a more like duo dual mains? Obviously we'll still have the Otome game elements, but kind of
Mhm.
like, yeah, here's this main romance and the rest of the cast is like already just supporting.
You're
If it
right.
does that, then that could be a like decent difference to it.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah. bit of a shame.
Mhm. Yeah, it is. It is a little bit unfortunate that more and more of these are coming out, and as a consequence of everybody kind of following the bandwagon, because when a lot of these sorts of series, like a lot of mecha series, or a lot of isekai series, or a lot of harem series, or a lot of whatever series, right, coming out, it's never in yeah, everybody's doing all really good things and everybody's all different. A lot of them will be kind of just like, yeah, let's make this, and then it'll be a very kind of diluted, not as great derivative the the better series, right? So it is
Yeah,
unfortunate.
and I will also say, like, the only other thing that, yeah, this shit has a 6.92 on Mall. I really don't know how. Uh,
Yeah.
Maybe that speaks to just fans giving it fucking high ratings just because they know where it goes, but
Mhm.
this definitely is not like a true like Mall, like what you should expect from a series that has like a 6 point fucking 9 on Mall. I know
Mhm.
that could go either way a lot of times, but I feel like stuff that floats in that range is usually pretty decent, and
Mhm.
this is not something that should be even in that range for the
Mhm.
first episode. So
Uh-huh.
beware.
Yeah, unfortunate. Um, but yeah, so again, very unfortunate, but sometimes these are how things roll, and like, I think, well, we got we got sort of this sense while looking at this season, the series this season and the past. I want to say 1 or 2 seasons, but I think many more of these are on the horizon. Many more of these kind of like more derivative villainous series, I think, are on the horizon. These more otome game kind of style series are on the horizon, and
Yeah,
we'll just have to see.
I will say as a final note, it is kind of crazy how quickly like because like I thought even like Tear Moon Kingdom was gonna be kind of a slog a couple seasons ago.
Uh huh.
Um, Kind of crazy how like even just removing like it is like kind of a hard to tell which comes first in this aspect, but like if you remove the Otome game aspect from something like this and the like isekai like Otome game shit from this, you kind of are already starting off like at a
Do the
like
same
more
thing.
positive place
Oh yeah,
of
yeah,
like
yeah.
how to tell a story, right? Because like Tear Moon
Right.
Kingdom like does not follow like it is similar in some ways, but it really doesn't follow directly, and it's far more of like straight up just like romance and like politics type deal. Um,
Mm.
and which obviously with a lot of comedy, but overall, I would say in the future, look out for more series like that, maybe. I think that is kind of what the better chance you have at finding something that is a little bit more original if it's straight up just not an Otome game from the get go.
Yeah. Yeah. Very unfortunate again overall, but we'll hopefully maybe this series will be able to potentially redeem itself a little bit down the road. Again, I don't think you haven't read the original light novel or anything, but hopefully there's are better developments um in future episodes. But yeah, thank you very much, Dark. This was Rekishi ni Nokoru Akujo ni Nazo, also known as I'll Become a Villainess Who Goes Down in History, abbreviated as RekiAku. This is a sort of one of your kind of stereotypical villainous series. Turned out not as great. Again, very unfortunate. Done by Maho Film or animated by Maho Film, light novel and probably web novel original. So yeah, again, a little bit unfortunate that it panned out like this.